Good evening, I'm Jocelyn. Maminta. FOX6 has team coverage of the Firstar fireworks show, and we begin live at the Lakefront. That's where Ted Perry is anchoring our coverage. Ted?
Jocelyn, good evening. As I sit here with a beautiful breeze blowing from the north and very clear skies now, it was hard to believe that about 5-6 hours ago this thing was in real jeopardy of not happening. Only one rainout since Firstar took over the fireworks, and it was not to be tonight, fortunately, because thousands and thousands of people came to the Lakefront tonight expecting to see a show, and they saw it, the air show and the grand finale, of course. If you're just getting back in your homes and you want to see that grand finale again, sit back, turn up the volume a little bit, and take a listen to this. In case it happened too quickly to count, 4,000 shells bursting in the last 5 minutes alone. More than 11,000 shells bursting over Veterans Park tonight. A spectacular show by the Bart family, but not the only show in town. This year they added something new, an air show. They figured as long as we got people staying down here all day, let's give them something to entertain them in the early evening hours, and entertain they were. Take a look at this. This is a group known as the French Connection. Daniel Heligon and Montaigne Mallet, they are the world's only husband and wife aerobatic team. They are performing in their Cap 10B planes from France originally, now living in Florida, and some spectacular flying. You thought the Statue of Liberty was a nice gift to this country. How about these two? The French Connection doing a couple rolls and a few stunts, entertaining the crowd. And again, we are lucky to get that air show in tonight because that was in jeopardy too. They were having pilot meetings up until about 5:30, 6 o'clock, wanting to make sure, of course, that the show was safe and that they could pull it off, and they did. And the good news there is if it was a rainout, the fireworks would have happened tomorrow night, but the air show would have had to move on to another city. So, touch wood, it all happened, and it all came off pretty well. They loved it here on the deck of the War Memorial where Firstar had clients, friends, guests, employees. Let's see how it went on down there. That's where Adam Schrager is. Adam, what was the reaction down there?
Well, Ted, we're in Veterans Park where we're still kind of squishing on some very wet grass, but that did not stop, as you mentioned, thousands of people from coming down. We're going to talk to Arlene Johnson, who's celebrating her 28th birthday. Is that what we agreed on?
That's fine. We'll agree to that, yes.
Now, you came down here at 6 o'clock, and I asked you a little bit.
We were here at 6 o'clock.
Why?
It was important that we get a good spot. I mean, we've been down here 4 times in the last couple of months looking for this perfect spot. And so we had to be here early in order to get it.
Why is this so important? Why is this day so important to you?
It's all about family. It's about country. It's about love. It's about God. It brings it all together with the excitement of what Firstar does for the community. And there's no better way to celebrate a birthday, either it's mine or the country's birthday. So we're a blessed citizenship here in Milwaukee, and we need to support, all these activities, and it's all geared to the family.
Let me ask you, what did you think of the grand finale?
My chest was vibrating. Somebody said the concussion of the chest, and that's about it. My chest was vibrating clear through to my backbone.
People were screaming. Thank you very much, Arlene.
Yes, it's exciting. God bless. We'll see you next year.
Great day. Arlene will be out here probably scouting more territory tomorrow for next year's, I would imagine, fireworks. Ted, they loved it down here. You could hear the screaming going on after you could finally get your hearing back from that grand finale. As one person mentioned, it's a great grand finale when you feel like you had a concussion or something along those lines.
My chest was pumping? Is that what she said?
That is what she said, vibrating. Well, we were if you get an idea, we had box seats to this. It was a direct neck twist up to see what we were seeing. The ground was shaking, and you could feel it all throughout your body.
All right, it's good to see you dry and happy, Adam Schrager. You were sopping wet at 5 o'clock. Nice job tonight at 10. Adam had a great vantage point. I had a terrific vantage point up here at the War Memorial. Joe the Barber, though, had an outstanding vantage point up in Sky Fox 6, a real unique perspective. And if you stay with us, I'm going to show you some pictures from Sky Fox 6 later on in the show. But Jocelyn, I know there's more news of the day, including some breaking news that you want to tell us about. So let's send it back to the Fox 6 studios.
Thank you very much, Ted. We'll check back in with you in a few minutes. In other news, what began with a distress call from a woman ended with a Milwaukee police officer shooting and killing a man. But police are not alone with the suspect. Les Batinas reports there were witnesses who may help determine the fate of the officer. We apparently do not have that story for you. Milwaukee police have not named the officer, but they say he is a 5-year veteran of the force. We now go to that story. Les Batinas has that report.
The police officer
Coco Brown did not want her face shown, but she claims she was watching from a house across the street when the Milwaukee police officer shot and killed Antonio Davis.
What did you see from the beginning?
that the man tried to run over the police officer, and the police officer pulled his gun and shot him in the neck.
And that is similar to the Milwaukee police claim that Davis was driving his car toward the officer. The officer admits drawing his gun, but little else is known about the shooting. For instance, did the officer consciously pull the trigger, or did the car brush the officer, somehow causing the gun to go off? Some of the answers may come from security cameras at the gas station. And Ed Campbell is the station manager.
How many cameras did you have running on this? Do you have a lot of cameras here?
3 or 4.
Campbell isn't sure what's on the tape, but he says Milwaukee police took the videotape. But all evidence must now go to the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office, which will review the case next week. In Milwaukee, Les Batinas, Fox 6 News.
Milwaukee police have not named the officer, but they say he is a 5-year veteran of the force, as I told you earlier. Now, the officer has been taken off patrol, and he will have desk duty until the investigation is finished. Police arrest a Milwaukee man for the double murder of a mother and her infant daughter. Detectives say they brought in Tanya Brandenstein's boyfriend on a warrant, and during questioning, he allegedly broke down and admitted to the crime. They made the arrest last night. Police say the suspect shot Tanya and her 5-month-old daughter, Sydney, last Friday night. Neighbors say they are relieved the man is now behind bars.
He's the primary suspect. If he did it, by all means, you got to pay the price. But it does make me feel a little easier as far as the neighborhood is concerned.
The 27-year-old suspect will be formally charged next week, and at that time, we will release his name. Police say the suspect was arrested once before for battery. Thousands of people are being told to get out of town. That's the scene in Florida, where brush fires are out of control and closing in on residential areas. The latest from the Sunshine State right after the break. Also, Wisconsin is ready to fight the federal government over the impotency drug Viagra. We will tell you about that next. And as we go to break, here are some highlights from the air show that kicked off a big night at the Lakefront. Scenes from a spectacular display. It was a night to remember at the Lakefront. The Firstar fireworks turned out to be quite a show after the rain cleared. We'll have more on the big show later in the newscast. We now have breaking news in Milwaukee. Fox 6 has learned a police officer was hurt tonight. So far, the extent of the injuries and how the officer was hurt are not clear at this point. It happened in Milwaukee near Sherman and Capitol. Les Batinas is on the scene and joins us live with more details. Les, what can you tell us?
Well, Jocelyn, Chief of Police Arthur Jones just told me what happened. He says that a squad of his officers were out here checking out a call about some loud cars when at some point one of the officers wound up being dragged by one of the vehicles and was rammed into that rock pile, that concrete rock pile right over there. The officer suffered a dislocated shoulder and some injuries to his leg. And at that point, the vehicle took off, sped off one way north on Sherman, and then came back south. The officer, despite his injuries, got up and fired at least 2 gunshots at the fleeing vehicle and hit one of the suspects in the arm. Now, we understand that both the suspect and the officer have been taken to Schrager Hospital. The suspect we heard has been hit in the arm. The injuries are, we understand at this point, are not life-threatening, but we're still trying to figure out exactly what happened here at the scene. And for now, we can tell you that Sherman north of Capitol has been blocked off for about a block here, so investigators can pick up the evidence. We see at least 8 markers on the street, possibly for shell casings or other pieces of evidence that were dropped during this exchange. Jocelyn?
Les, again, those injuries are not life-threatening.
Well, at this point, we understand that the officers suffered leg injuries and a dislocated shoulder. Certainly painful, serious possibly, but not life-threatening. And we understand that the person who was shot, one of the suspects, we don't know if it was the driver or the passenger, was hit in the arm by the gunfire.
That's Batinas, thank you. In Florida, wildfires forced the evacuation of an entire county. In Flagler County, 38,000 people were told to get out of town. The rush to leave created quite a bumper-to-bumper drive to safety. Brush fires are burning in the north, south, and western parts of the state. Officials were fearful the wind could drive them to converge into one giant inferno. More than 320,000 acres blackened and at least 150 homes destroyed since Memorial Day. In Ohio, a 12-year-old girl is killed and a woman is seriously hurt in a fireworks accident. That's where we begin our look at FOX6 News across America tonight. It happened in Independence, a suburb of Cleveland, during a 4th of July celebration last night. A fireworks cannon tipped over and fired an exploding rocket into a crowd of onlookers. The girl died of a head injury. 8 other people had to be treated for minor burns. In California, a Navy airman dies while training to become a member of the elite SEAL team. Gordon Racine apparently passed out during a grueling training session in a swimming pool like this one. He died yesterday in Coronado, California, after spending a day on life support. In Denver, a federal appeals court ruling could give a boost to the appeal of convicted Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh. The 10th Circuit Court of Appeals said prosecutors cannot promise leniency to witnesses for their testimony. The government's star witness against McVeigh testified after cutting a deal with prosecutors. President Clinton will arrive back in Washington from China early tomorrow. 9 days and 5 cities later, the president bid farewell to China. He spent his last day on the trip in Hong Kong. In a news conference there, Mr. Clinton says he believes China is headed for democracy. The visit was the first by an American president since the 1989 Tiananmen Square crackdown. Wisconsin is saying no to a directive that orders state Medicaid programs to pay for Viagra. The federal government issued the order to cover the anti-impotence pill yesterday. State health officials say they are not sure Viagra is safe or necessary. It is estimated that Medicaid coverage of Viagra could cost Wisconsin more than $11 million. New York and Michigan may also reject the directive. The night sky was glowing with a brilliant light show. We will show you more of what had thousands looking up in amazement. We will take you back to the Lakefront live after the break. And as we go to break, here's a scene from the air show that kicked off an evening of entertainment in the sky. Unfortunately, we don't have that video for you. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the FOX6 News at 10. If you're just getting back inside or you just can't get enough of it, we got it for you. These are some of these shots from earlier tonight. The view from the War Memorial for the Firstar fireworks seen exclusively and without interruption here on FOX6 earlier tonight. What a great vantage point here. Adam Schrager had a terrific vantage point down in Veterans Park. 2 guys I know, Captain Mike and Joe LaBarbera, were up in Sky Fox 6 with a unique perspective we've never been able to bring you until we had the helicopter. So let's spend some time looking at pictures from Sky Fox 6 of the Firstar fireworks. Here we go. And of course, this is the vantage point with Joe LaBarbera and Captain Mike at the controls, having obviously to be very careful where and how they fly during the show. But look at that aerial view, looking down with the city and the boats in the background. That's one of the most awesome shots you'll see there, because you really get a perspective of the boats, and you can see part of the city line as well. And some nice pictures from Joe LaBarbera and Captain Mike up in Sky Fox 6 of the Firstar fireworks. I want to bring in Bart Adrian now. Bart, you had us worried earlier. You did a great job at 5 keeping us posted on where those cells were, and we watched that one just sit over the lakefront. We got worried that it wasn't going to move on, but it did, and we had a nice evening down here.
Ted, I can't tell you how happy I am that the forecast didn't turn out to be entirely right and that the storms diminished and actually moved to the south of us as the evening went on. And it's been much quieter around here in the second half of the evening than it was during the first. Doppler 6000 continuing to show up basically pretty dry conditions across southeastern Wisconsin this hour. One area of showers way to the south, right near the city of Kenosha and to the south, and also a few scattered showers across northern Sheboygan County and right near the city of Fond du Lac. Basically very quiet, though, otherwise, and it should stay that way through much of the rest of the night. Here's our live shot down at the lakefront as folks are beginning to exit and head home for the night, and they've got some nice dry weather to do so, although very humid. Mitchell International this hour coming in at 72 with 71 here at our studio, same at Brookfield, and 73 at the lakefront. 83 and 70, the official high and low today at Mitchell. The dew point is a very sticky 70. Winds are out of the northwest at 7, and the pressure is at 29.91, and it is falling. Let me show you the perspective of radar on time-lapse going back about 4 hours. You see those showers and thunderstorms that massed across southeastern Wisconsin earlier have basically consolidated and moved to the south, where there's some pretty strong storms across parts of northern Illinois now. A scattering of showers across the northern part of the state, those in association with a frontal system that's going to be dropping down from the north. And this is really going to be part 2 of refreshment around here as we got the rains first to cool us down a bit. And now here comes that frontal system with drier air dropping in across central Wisconsin. It'll bring our winds around to a northeasterly direction, and it's going to spell sunshine for us tomorrow. A gorgeous 4th of July shaping up. Temperatures upper 60s to middle 70s across the entire state. And on Sunday, more gorgeous weather as well. Both days a little cooler near Lake Michigan. Those winds out of the northeast. Here's our forecast for the rest of this night. A few scattered showers turning less humid, especially late tonight, well after midnight. Low temperatures 60 to 65. Winds becoming northeast, picking up to 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tomorrow, a beautiful 4th of July, mostly sunny, windy, cooler, and less humid. Highs mid-70s inland, mid to upper 60s near Lake Michigan. Northeast breezes at 15 to 25. Clear and cool tomorrow night with diminishing winds, lows mid to upper 50s. And here we go on Milwaukee's first 7-day outlook. Beautiful weather again for the rest of the 4th of July weekend. Highs on Sunday, mid to upper 70s, cooler lakeside. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, a chance of thunderstorms each day as we warm back into the mid-80s and then cool down again as we head towards Thursday and Friday. Wishing everyone a safe and happy 4th of July. Jocelyn and Tim.
Thank you, Bart. And Tim Van Vooren up with sports coming up next. We'll be right back.
The Blackwell front course in Kohler is only going to get tougher as the weekend wears on, and that is simply daunting. 20-year-old Sayri Pak holds a one-shot advantage over Liselet Neumann, but they are the only players under par. Dottie Pepper's among the players at even, while Nancy Lopez skies to plus 18. John Pearson has her story.
For Nancy Lopez, depressing and distressing doesn't quite cover it. 2 nightmarish days finish her off at 18 over, missing the cut and missing any chance of finally winning the U.S. Open. It was bad enough that her playing partners Jane Geddes and Meg Mallon joined her in waving the white flag of surrender.
I would have liked to have just been like those pigs that buried themselves, you know, where the fire is in Florida. I saw that last night. I thought that was amazing. Well, I felt like just burying myself in the dirt. I mean, I just wanted to hide. You know, it's hard to feel like you have to smile when you don't really feel like smiling. Golf is so humbling, and you just don't want to play like that. So I think I just don't like playing like that.
As these couple days finally ended, it just seemed like it got worse and worse for all 3 of these all-time greats. So you got to wonder, is a bad day contagious?
Oh, it's definitely contagious. You try and root for the other person, and you say good shot, and then it was really funny. And we all hit the green in regulation, and we all had a putt for birdie, and Meg looked at us and she said, hey, we can play.
But no matter what her score, to the people here in Kohler, Nancy Lopez is the champion. John Pearson, Fox 6 Sports.
Thank you, John. Here's an arcane baseball note. The Brewers have never scored a run against the Philadelphia Phillies. They only meet for the first time ever tonight. Kurt Schilling blanks them for 7 full innings before yielding to the bullpen. Philadelphia gets a couple of runs in the second inning. Doug Glanville, base hit up the middle. One of the National League's real surprises, tops the crew tonight. Final score on that, 2-0. Well, the race capital of America this weekend is the Milwaukee Mile, as well as maybe the rain capital of America. It was brutal today. Wet weather wipes out qualifying for tomorrow's Truck Series event, but things should be back to full speed tomorrow.
Trucks. You know, a lot of the Midwest people ride and, you know, got trucks for hunting, fishing, and the weather. You know, up here in the Midwest, you got to have a four-wheel drive, so they can relate to the trucks a little bit easier than maybe the Winston Cup cars.
Top seed Pete Sampras plays his way into the men's singles final at Wimbledon. He will play Goran Ivanisevic for the title Sunday. And Brazil wins a dramatic World Cup soccer match against Denmark. Here you go, 2-2. Rivaldo scores twice, breaking the tie with this tally, and the heavily hyped Brazilians move on one more time for Rivaldo. 3-2 Brazil over Denmark. France, the host country, also a winner today, so a lot of excitement remains over there. And Brett Hull of the NHL, late of the NHL's St. Louis Blues, signs a 3-year free agent contract with the Dallas Stars today. Somewhat of a surprise, Jocelyn. People thought maybe he would go to Chicago.
Thank you, Tim. A dazzling end to a spectacular night of fireworks. You will see the grand finale next. But first, here are tonight's winning lottery numbers. The sky was filled with fireworks tonight. The Firstar fireworks dazzling tens of thousands who flocked to Milwaukee's Lakefront for the big show, also dazzling those of us at home who watched the big show. Let's go back now to Ted Perry, who's anchoring our coverage of the fireworks from the Lakefront. Ted?
Jocelyn, you're a reporter. You eavesdrop on conversations time to time, don't you?
All the time.
Well, I'm down here tonight before the fireworks started, and two women who hadn't seen each other in a while met, and they said, "What are you doing down here?" And the other one said, "I'm here for the fireworks, of course." So who didn't come down for the fireworks? An estimated crowd of 500,000 people. Don't think there were that many. Gloomy weather earlier might have scared some away. We hope you enjoyed it on Fox 6. If you didn't, if you're just stepping in, you want to see the grand finale, let's take another look. Here we go. A fitting tribute to Sam Bartolotta, who passed away a few months ago. His son Jeff, who now runs the company, said he wanted it to be an appropriate tribute to his father, and it certainly was. A beautiful night down here at the Lakefront. Happy 4th of July, everyone. We'll send it back to you in the studio. Jocelyn.
Ted Perry, thank you very much. Great job. Thank you for joining us as well. Stay tuned to Fox 6. MASH is next. Be sure to watch the Fox 6 Wake Up News tomorrow morning starting at 8. And we leave you with a final look at the Firstar fireworks as seen from Sky Fox 6. Have a great weekend, everybody, and a happy 4th of July.
Can you guys see the show from over there?